Greetings, Enchantress. It is Shane here, the Enchanted Shaman, and I'm here today to honor mothers and let's talk about them. So, I am not an enchantress that grew up with a mother who was empowering to me, and I've really come to an amazing place, and it's only getting better. So, the purpose of this enchanted video today is about how, and it's for women, magical women like you, who are still angry, who are still angry over your childhood, about how you've been raised, about the values and beliefs and bullshit that you don't really feel aligned with, and that you're still angry at your mother for your childhood. This video is for you. Now, only you know this. So if you don't call it anger, if you don't call it, whatever, but you just sort of stay away from your mom, or you don't celebrate holidays, or you don't send a card, make a call, do a FaceTime, based on the fact that you're avoiding. So if you and your mom came up with the agreement, we don't do holidays, it's totally fine. This video may not be for you, but this is for you who's just like doing your women's work and is staying busy and just like pretends that your mom doesn't exist. Now, I am here for you because I grew up with a mom that would say things like, after 12, she would say things like, "What's that on your face? You're going to leave the house looking like that? What are people going to think of you? Did you see how she looked? Did you see this dirt on her sweater?" And so, filled with judgment, comparison, not enoughness. And I am doing amazing in these areas now. And it's taken work. But I'm here to tell you, if you're still mad at your mother, you're giving your power away. And that is one of the things that we deal with from parent wounding. And so the mother wounds will show up as these very simple. I'm giving you 4 ways that the mother wound will show up. And you can realize how you still know if you're angry at your mom. So the first one is shame. So if you have shame where it might come up as like something you say is wrong and you like recoil, or you do things and then feel riddled with guilt, or something is foundationally flawed with you. Like you say something and then you can't even believe that you've said it and you think that the world thinks you're an asshole. That's number 1. Number 2 is you compare. So you're constantly looking at that woman and that family and that entrepreneur and that artist. And you're like comparing better, worse, fat, skinny, successful, not successful, rich, poor. Like everything that you do, you're comparing with other people. I should be here. I should be doing that. I should be, that kind of thing. Mother wound. Number 3, attenuation, or you're playing victim, or you play small, or the world, things are happening to you. You feel like you're just a sucker running around. Like everything that happens to you is like on purpose. You blame others. You blame your mother for the faults that you have right now. You blame your boss. You blame your coworkers. You blame the stranger down the street. You blame the Kardashians. You blame anything and everything. That is part of the mother wound. And another part of that is you play small to be loved. So you go with the flow. You over apologize. You take little bit so other people can have more. Mother wound. And the last one is guilt. So if you want more, which as women, we all want more, and you have guilt for it, it's part of the mother wound, like the martyr syndrome, like, oh, I have enough, don't worry about me, that kind of thing. Now, the first step is knowing these things, being aware, like, oh, my mother relationship as a child has an impact on how I am as an adult. and holds you back from being the super enchantress that you are. The good news, if I had my feather, I would grab it. The good news is, once you're aware of these things, you can be aware of them and you can know that it's not your fault. Now, I want to invite you into the next step after anger. I have some clients who are in their 50s and 60s who are still angry at their mother. The good news is you don't have to meet your mother. You don't have to have a conversation with her to get over the stuff. There's so much magic work that can be done to supersede the anger that you have with your mother, and you don't even have to deal with her. So that means she can be passed on. That means you could be estranged and not talking to her for years. It means you could be in the middle of a fight right now with her, and you could still do some magic work, some enchanted living work, and change and alter the relationship. The first step is you have to be willing. Are you willing to stop being angry at your mother? So you can declare that and say out loud or write right now, I am willing to no longer be angry at my mother. That is a huge step. And that might be all you do today. You know, taking a stand for love. That's step number 2. I take a stand for loving my mother. Now, this does not mean that your expectations as a child, where you want your mother to be like combing your hair and saying, you're perfect, I love you, you're beautiful, it's going to happen. So drop that. This is your work. This has hardly anything to do with your mother, except the stories that you've created about her. Number 1, be willing. Number 2, make a declaration to take a stand for loving your mother no matter fucking what. And this doesn't mean you have to go talk to her, but it just means that you're willing to look at this and then okay, so willing, declare. Number 3, take an action. Okay, this is where I want to hang out, in this land. And many of us as women are like fighting with our mothers. Fuck you, bop, 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 you fucked up, you're wrong. So step number 3 is take an action. And my question to you after you get past 1 and 2 in this space right here is, do you want peace or do you want to be right? Because you are right. Your mother maybe didn't raise you the best. Your mother fucked up. She did whatever she did. Yes. You're right. Do you need to prove that to her? Do you need to prove that to the world? Then don't take an action step. But if you're willing, if you are making the declaration and you want to get to that action step, decide if you want to be right or if you want peace. That's it. And the action step can be something really simple. I tried to narrow it down, so I just trusted that I'm going to give you the ones that come straight up to my head. So the first one is write a Dear Mommy letter. Write a letter with your pencil or your pen on a paper. Dear Mom. And write whatever the fuck you want. You can be angry, nasty, sad, afraid, grieving, joyful. You can share all your expectations, where she fucked up, where you fucked up, why you hate her, all that stuff. Write it in a letter with your hand. Write that letter out. Do not send it. This is a letter you are going to fold up, put your hands on, give a blessing for the highest good for all involved, and let it sit in water. Let it dissipate until the paper is mush. So it might be a couple days, it might be a couple of weeks. I don't know, whatever paper you use, depends on that. Put a blessing on this paper, let it sit in the water, and every night or most nights, go over there, put your hands on your heart, send love to your mother. No phone calls, nothing else. And even if you're in touch with your mother, you can do this. So letting it dissipate in water. And then when the water has done its job and has fully disintegrated this paper, take that bowl of water Maybe you put it in a can with a lid and pour it into the earth. So pour it near a tree, pour it in between the cracks in the sidewalk, pour it in your garden, send it back to Mother Earth as compost. That's one. I'm going to give two, so not to overwhelm. The second action you can take is to get in the mirror and say what you want to say to your mother. Now, I just got dizzy when I said that. If you don't know what to say, I want you to just get in the mirror, get in your eye contact, and say, I love you, Mom. I'm listening. I love you, Mom. I'm listening. I love you, Mom. I'm listening. And then start to fucking listen. Start to hear what goes on in your head. You might feel stupid the first couple times. You might think it's dumb. What am I doing? I can't hear anything. But the more you connect with your eyes and the more you see your own eyeballs, I love you, Mom. I'm listening. Just listen. You're doing great. You made it to this part of the video, which means you are willing. And then the next two steps. Are you willing? Can you declare? Take an action. All right, Enchantress, I wish you all the love on this Mother's Day and beyond, and that we are here because of our mothers. No matter how angry, rageful, pissed off, frustrated you are, you came out of your mother's birth canal. If you are not in touch with your mother, if you were adopted, you came out of a woman's body, her womb. That is something to honor. We all did. So even if your man or your partner is not in touch with his mother, love her extra. If you don't have any problems with your mom, love a mother. Love the angry mother that you see on the street. Love your neighbor who's a mother. Love yourself who's not a biological mother. I wish you all the best, and I wish you an enchanted Mother's Day. Blessings.